Good morning. I don't know if anybody is in the chat. Um, my my phone has a delay, I think. Oh, hi, Steph. All right, so I'm gonna set up my phone because it doesn't matter what I do. I can't get chat to show up on my actual screen. So, um, so I said earlier, I'm basically just getting some things off my chest. There's some things, things that were said, therapy appointments that were had, and I just want to not so much clear the air as share my side of things. Most of my followers have come from a video I did last year where I called out the Rewired Soul for his shenanigans in his community. He has not gotten much better. I don't think he gave a shit about my video. That is a spork. It's the best of both worlds. It's like a spoon and a fork. I really honestly don't think he gave two shits about my video. And I really honestly don't think Eric is going to give two shits about my video. So, I'm just going to say my piece. Share things from my point of view. And I'm going to play Stardew Valley because it's my comfort blanket. And since I don't have a podium, and I'm very much aware that there are eyes on me right now because I see at least two people in the chat. Yeah. So yeah, a little less than a year ago I put out my video on my experience in the Rewired Souls community, and that was just as a user, like a user of the community. I just remember I didn't have any official standing, and I just noticed some things that really rubbed me the wrong way. It took me a while to how do I put this? It took me a while to kind of remind myself that the reason that I joined the Rewired Souls community wasn't because I thought Chris was rad and he had all of the answers. It was because I was looking for other people like me. Yeah, I can turn the game down. Let's see, turn the game down. I hope that's better. I didn't think I had the game turned up. Turns out, I turned the settings down on one screen and then changed the screen. So, I joined the Discord for Eric's YouTube channel. I wasn't going there looking for a fan Discord. I was hoping that it was going to be what I thought it was, which is, or what I found, which is a bunch of people that care about other people, um, willing to sit and listen. I knew going in, and I wasn't looking for like I knew going in that nobody was like a licensed therapist. Um, because I know that sometimes like I grew up with um, my mom was an alcoholic. Her rehab was joining the Mormon Church, which is a whole another story. Um, but she was very insistent that I, even as young as elementary school, went to Al-Anon meetings. Um, and I actually really enjoyed that. It helped. Um, it helped me find my bearings even as a kid, but most importantly, it is what helped protect me when my stepfather turned out to be a predator. Um, Tools that I learned there helped me. So I was kind of looking for something like that, like Al-Anon, but for mental health. You know what I mean? Um, and that's sort of like what it was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it was kind of fanny, and that's kind of like in a way, and that was kind of weird sometimes. Um, I mean, it's not necessarily Eric's fault. Like, there's like there's science behind like parasocial relationships and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna get into that today, but um, like I found people that made it feel like it felt like a community, like a home. Um, I wasn't like directly involved at first. I didn't want to be. I wanted nothing to do with having a moderator position. I just wanted to come in, talk when I was having a bad day, maybe talk to other people when they were having a bad day, and like go about my business. That was like my goal. Um, what made it great wasn't Eric. Like, he facilitated it, he created it, but like going there every day and seeing the same people and talking to the same people and like um, sharing, you know, their struggles, but also like their little wins. That was like the draw. Um, and like if it weren't for people like in the early community, like AJ and Sinrayan, um, being so warm and welcoming, I wouldn't have stayed, quite frankly. Um, and I actually left and came back a couple times because it just, and it wasn't them. It was like other people getting like really like weird fanny, if that makes sense. Like, um, oh, that was dumb. Um, so it just made it really uncomfortable, and I felt like um, stuff like that it was just a turnoff. So anyway, long story short, I got involved after like I rejoined and talked to like yes, this is everything I can get rid of. I talked to my friends and just kind of was like, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So the first time that I was asked to be moderator, I said no because I didn't want to be. Um, I have I have 4 kids. I have 3 kids at home. 2 of them are developmentally disabled. I don't have time, you know. And kept telling myself that, I kept telling them that, but then also like spending a bunch of my time in the Discord. Um, and finally one day, you know, Sin told me, she's um, like I've been talking to Eric, and he really thinks that make a good moderator, and um, like it's, you know, so I joined. I was like, okay, fine. But like I don't have, like, I'm not going to be able to spend like a whole bunch of time, but I'll do the best that I can. Um, that was right around the time I think that like AJ left for the last time. I want to kind of make this clear. Like Twitter gives you like 100 whatever characters to get your point across, and it's not enough time. Like it's not enough room to like give details. Um, when I say that like I barely saw Lola in the Discord, it was because like she was working. Like I'm not discounting that at all. And now that I've been a part of it, like at the time, I kind of thought, like what the hell, she's an admin, why isn't she out here like doing some of the Discord stuff? And like knowing what I know now, she probably didn't fucking have the time. Like I've had lots and lots of discussions with my therapist about this stuff, and I don't know exactly that we were pitted against each other, but I don't think that Eric really understood, one, how much it takes to really run the Discord as far as time goes. And I'm not talking about like any Discord, like a large Discord, like what is, like there's 3,000 people in the adult Discord right now. That's a lot of people. If I had to do it all over again, I'd be like, yeah, no, that's a lot of people. But doing that while doing admin work, while doing video editing work, it's a lot. So I really want to be clear that like a lot of the criticisms that I have levied against Lola, I apologize for. They weren't fair. They were coming from a place of ignorance. I didn't know at the time what else she was doing. The only thing I will say is, had I known, what she was going through, or had I known anything, there's a lot that I wouldn't have said. That being said, I don't think it was her fault that she didn't reach out. I don't know if like we were all like deliberately kept in like I don't know how, like I don't think we were deliberately kept apart. I think she was kept busy, and I don't know if she felt comfortable talking to us. She has a different personality than anybody that worked with us, and that's not a bad thing. Like we all have different personalities. I don't know if she felt comfortable with us. And I wasn't going to push her to feel comfortable with me, knowing just some of the stuff that she's gone through. It's not fair to her, and that's not how you create a friendship. I have some feelings that I need to unpack that I'm probably going to unpack with my therapist on Eric's choice in hiring specifically women with, I don't want to call us broken because we're not, but like with pasts where we were taken advantage of. Especially those of us who appear to be strong in some way. I don't know if he's doing it intentionally or if it's just something that is easy. But either way, I don't know that he's that self-aware to be predatory in that way, but I know that it's not something that he's unpacking. If a picnic, where are we going on a picnic? Not a picnic? So yeah, if anybody that knows Lola can let her know, I apologize. Like, I don't want to be besties. I want her to be safe, and I want her to thrive just like anybody else. So, I mean, there's that. As far as, like, the servers go, Eric's not at all really, like, I mean, I don't know about the last 2 weeks. He's not really that involved in the servers. We used to have to, like, argue to get him to show up. I'm not worried about the servers. Ophelia, hang on 1 second. No, you're not to eat it. Okay, sorry. No, you can't. Have some milk. Hang on, I just saw a whole bunch of stuff. My problem going forward is knowing that there are a lot of people that are on the servers that look up to Eric because of his TikTok videos and think that he's going to be, like, super involved and super personal, and, like, the realisticness of it is he doesn't, like, this isn't like a personality flaw. He doesn't have the time to be as involved as a lot of people think that he's going to be. I'm not sure I think that's a bad thing. I actually think it's a good thing that he's so far removed from the Discord, because he doesn't hold himself accountable when he does dumb stuff. I don't know how else to put that, like, more blunt. He doesn't hold himself accountable until he's caught doing something that he shouldn't, that he also sees as a big deal. Like, and I don't know that it's maliciousness. I just know that that's how it's always been, and he's not a big one for self-accountability in that end. As far as the safety, that was like the monitoring of staff and the monitoring of the monitoring of like what went on was left up to staff. So it's not like he's like directly involved. Um, so a lot of people have a lot of misgivings, thinking that he's going to be, super involved in the Discord and whatever, and like he'll show up like on occasion, usually under duress. So I kind of wanted to stick to a timeline. The live I did this morning, where I rambled on for an hour and 12 minutes in complete silence, apparently, held to a better timeline, because I wasn't getting distracted by chat, because nobody could hear what I was saying, and I don't think anybody showed up anyway. So, Lola, if you missed earlier, I did apologize to you for some things. I'm not going to repeat it, just because, like, I want to go forward with the live, and I don't want to spend like 30 minutes saying the same things over and over. But it's not too far back if you want to watch it. But I guess I'll start from where you left. When Lola left I'm going to be honest here. This past 6 months has been like just one jumble of me showing up, trying to work while juggling a family. So I apologize that I got my timeline off, but is that a tree? Yeah, it's just a weird tree. But after Lola left, I took over editing videos. I wasn't really that great at it. I've gotten a lot better, and I was actually hoping to show that off this week, but that'll have to wait until tomorrow, because I was going to do my voiceover and then and all that stuff. But I'm proud of it, and I really hope that you'll like it. It has nothing to do with, well, I mean, it kind of does have something to do with mental illness. No, you're not going to eat straight sour cream. But if you watched or want to watch the movie Midsommar, I enjoyed it, but I had a lot of thoughts. If you follow me on Twitter, I kind of let some of them out. But I'm actually, whoa. Oh yeah, I am big in my house. But I'm pretty proud of it, and I hope that like you'll enjoy it. But that's another thing. So, I had no idea what I was doing at the beginning, but I had a MacBook and I had iMovie, and I'm one of those people that's like, I don't know how to do it right now, but give me like an hour and some YouTube tutorials and I'll figure it the fuck out, right? So I did. And I didn't do too bad. Some of the videos that were shot with his old iPhone, the sound was terrible. I did what I could. Fixing the audio in like Audacity. There was a lot of clipping. There was a lot of like weirdness, but it was his iPhone. Like even with a mic, it had the weird clipping. So it was something to do with how his iPhone was like handling the video and the audio. It was weird. So anyway, after he got his new phone, it was easier for me to edit, so I could get a little bit more creative, and that's where I learned some new things. So anyway, as for the nonprofit, yes, I helped him form the nonprofit. I don't know what he's thinking now, because the entire time going through the paperwork, because we did it over video chat, I explained to him that in the United States, nonprofit organizations, am I orange? I don't think I'm orange.
Are you orange?
No, I'm not orange. Are you orange?
I'm not orange.
Um,
Are you orange?
nope, I'm mommy. So, nonprofit, that's not orange either, that's yellow. So nonprofit organizations, in the United States, they, like, you can't just run an organization by yourself. It has to be set up with 4 directors, and at least 2 of them have to be U.S. citizens, no questions asked, or like no exceptions. No, that's not orange juice. That's milk. Can you put it back in the fridge? So the director team was, at the time, it was me, Eric. Eric was CEO. And I did that on purpose. And I've told him this. And I don't think he was listening when I told him. The CEO of a nonprofit organization is literally the least powerful person within the position. And I did it that way on purpose because I wanted to prevent what is happening right now. Because, like, with a normal organization, like, the CEO can just make decisions willy-nilly and just do things with literally no consequences. However, the way he has handled firing me, at first telling me it was, a break, and then telling people that it was because I wasn't pulling my weight, which, whatever. Like, he's effectively dissolved the nonprofit organization. Any donations that come in after this, they're not eligible. Like, he's not eligible for nonprofit status anymore. It hasn't been, like, the paperwork, I literally have just filled it. I had just filled it out the day before, because I had gotten it 2 days before from the IRS to apply for nonprofit status, or, excuse me, 501c3 status. Oh yeah, he fired me. I'll get into that. So I set up the nonprofit to basically be Eric proof. And in theory it should have been. And it should have gone forward, lasting a long time. The thing is, with nonprofits, you're likely to work for free as a director for years. And I don't think he's cool with that. Um, and I mean, yeah, Lola, it was a legit full-time job. And I can tell you from my experience, I have not worked less than 7 days a week, less than 8 hours a day in 6 months. Um, so if he wants to go ahead and tell people that, if he wants to go ahead and tell people that I wasn't pulling my weight, I'll get to that in a minute. So one of the things that I was crystal fucking clear with is I have no idea where to start with grants, because that was going to be how we funded the nonprofit. Because frankly, like it's wrong to take money from people that you're helping, right? And yeah, like Eric wants to be able to make money. Here's the thing. I said this in the previous live stream, and it was, you know, mute because I don't know how to look at Streamlabs when I'm doing shit. It's just been a long time since I've done this. It's not a bad thing for people that work for a nonprofit to make money, to live. Your time has value. To expect that the people that work in a nonprofit not be able to feed their families but spend all of their time helping people is bullshit. This idea that anyone working in a nonprofit be completely completely non-paid volunteers. Like, your fire department pays firefighters even though they're volunteers. So, I mean, this idea that volunteer is 100% unpaid is, yeah, bullshit. Eric did help me set some things up. The money from it came from partly from his YouTube channel and partly from his own pocket. He paid for it. I did all of the paperwork. The address of the nonprofit is my home address. And all of the financial stuff was in my name. And I did that on purpose. He's bad with money. And he'll be the first person to tell you that. He is bad with money. Meanwhile, I am a mother of 4 with 3 kids at home. We subside on SSI from my 9-year-old, as well as whatever I can get in from freelance work. Last year I made $4,679. I just filed my taxes. I own my own home. I am good with money. Just because I'm poor doesn't mean that I'm shit with money. Like, I know how to budget. If you gave me $20 and a locket, I could figure out how to budget, a dance. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really good with budgets. And that's why I did it the way I did it. I wanted to make sure that we were successful. When it came to grants, that's something that I've never done before. I was crystal clear from the beginning. I've never done grants before. It's something I'll need to learn, or we'll have to have somebody on the team that does it. I set everything up as far as the information needed to apply for grants. Um, it took a while. Anything to do with the government takes a while. Um, like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't have any power over like what government agencies do with their time. All I know is that I can file things and wait. So it took from like we were official, I believe, early November. I don't know. I'm not getting out my Instagram. Um, like early November, maybe late October. Um, we um, we got our official thing back from the state of Michigan, um, giving us yes legitimate 501c3 status or yeah legitimate nonprofit status, not 501c3 status. I'll get to that in a minute. We were officially a nonprofit organization. So I went ahead and started filing all of the information. Now, because again, none of us have ever done this before, including me. And so when I say that, I had no idea that I still had to file some paperwork with the IRS. I mean, I had no idea there was paperwork I still had to file with the IRS. And I didn't find that out until like my third conversation with the lawyer that was assigned to our package. So when it came for like when it came to doing the rest of the work, like it takes, I'm going to be honest, it takes a grand total of 20 minutes to fill out some of the paper, or not paperwork, but like the filing information when it comes to signing up for like the grants protocol on the government websites. It took weeks to get back. And like I was logging in daily, checking the status, seeing where we were, reporting back. And I know it was frustrating for him. It was fucking frustrating for me. Like I'm not, sugarcoating anything when I say it was frustrating. And I know it was time consuming. But it's because there was a larger vision. Like I can't speak to what his motives are. But I will say that, quite frankly, it was frustrating because a lot of the frustration was thrown my direction when it was stuff that I couldn't fucking control. And I get it. Like, I'm the one in charge of, like, putting this stuff together. Well, when I told him, I don't know how to do grants, I wasn't just like, like, it wasn't just me just saying, hey, can you get somebody else to do this? I didn't fucking know what I was doing. So November, like, what was it? December came around. I saw that Coursera has free, there's a free course. It's actually called scientific writing, but it's half of the course is on grant writing. And I was going to take that course so I could learn to do what I was doing. In the meantime, I created most of the merch, which is where we got a lot of our income. And like Eric was doing TikTok, and TikTok Lives is where we got a lot of that income. because people give donations, just like in live streams on YouTube for anyone over 1,000 subs. So, like, I was working to try to create some sort of income for the group, even if it was just to pay our web designer. Like, I know that initially it was going to be free, and then he decided to negotiate to pay the web designer. I have no problem with that. I just, it's kind of like, let me know so I'm not scrambling. Well, anyway, anytime we got like a substantial amount of money in the coffers, I paid the web designer. Was it as often as I would like? No. But, it was something. Oh, I'm speaking freely regardless. I don't care. Like, if Eric's here and watching, that's cool. He can speak for himself. But my thoughts were like, we are a team. We need to be working as a team and not, the way it is. Because, like, it's no shade against you, Jiffy, but it's not a team. It's very clear to me now. Oh, I should probably put that in when it's foraging. So, yeah. Well, I'm sure somebody will. There's other people there, and there's other... I'm not even going to get into that. So anyway, I was told that apparently I was telling people, well, when he told me to take a break because I was doing too much, never mind that we couldn't get moderators to be on at normal hours so I could actually get off and do things. Like, somebody's got to monitor the chats. Not just that, but like, how do I put this? When you have a place that's like a chat or a forum of some sort, and you say, there's always somebody there to listen, and there's not, that creates a problem. And one of my biggest gripes was that there would be entire days that would go by when I was the only staff person that would log in. And this is, I want you to be clear, this is not me shading, like, Jiffy, for instance. There was a period of time in December where, unfortunately, we had one admin away on an already planned vacation. And then one after another, each of the admin team, except for Eric, had to go to the hospital for something. And, I mean, no, it didn't break into chaos, but it was really quiet. And it was noticeable that other staff didn't log in. Yeah, like, Jiffy's grandma died. And like there was a lot of stuff that went on when it was like we'll use for instance the day we discovered that a member of our staff had been grooming teens, or should I say the first time? The only time and this was my decision. The only time that it was announced that there was a pedophile on the server is when it was somebody that had a past. And this was the other two times that the other two times it happened. I was actually advised by the FBI not to say anything outside of the server. The third time that it happened, it was in the staff member. It was a member that I reported that was like their intro was basically, "Hi, I fantasize about pedophilia." It was weird. But like you can't not report that shit. Like and it was on the adult server, but still, like, once I signed the paperwork for the nonprofit, I became a mandatory reporter. Like, that was part of the package. So I reported him, and like, he ended up, like, it was a whole fucking thing. Like, his girlfriend had joined first, and was kind of weird, but like not like so weird that it was like way out of the, way out. Just like, I guess like eclectic, I want to say. There was this whole like, literally like they were named after like the characters in Tangled. And then he joined, made this gigantic introduction about how he fantasized about being taken advantage of by a pedophile and all kinds of just weird shit. And I was like, yeah, I can't not do anything about that, right? Like, between the amount of people in the server who had been victims to the fact that, like, it was just really blatant. I filed a report, but like they all ended up getting like super mad. Like the girlfriend was just like, "How dare you?" and like wrote this big diatribe and just went off. And then they ended up like duetting Eric on TikTok, saying that like we're mean and judgmental, and how dare he advertise the Discord as a place to go that's a safe space. And it's like, it's a safe space, but like there are boundaries that you don't cross. The second was somebody that was without a past, who passed a background check. The only thing that was weird about him is that he was just a weird kind of dude. But like we're all kind of weird in our own ways. So I mean, even that wasn't really a red flag, but as soon as something was done, like the kids, the teens that he had been talking to, like he didn't even get a chance to groom anybody. As soon as it got uncomfortable, like we acted fast enough after the first round. Exactly. It's the thing with the second guy, like the teens knew from how swiftly and thoroughly we handled the thing with Chris, that they were safe coming to us when the second one happened. And I'm going to be 100% honest. It has been 1,000% easier to deal with the FBI with the second one with no past. First of all, they had already been investigating him for some reason. I didn't ask. But that's not going to show up on a background check. If there's already an investigation, but there's no actual outcome yet, that's not going to show up on a background check. Doesn't matter how much you pay. Excuse me. But like he ended up like he's dumb. He's gonna get himself caught because he's dumb. He's trying to join the Discord several times. And the only reason that I caught him is because, by the recommendation of the FBI agents, I did not remove him from my friends list on Discord because Discord isn't going to do anything about him. Because most of what he did wasn't on Discord. It was on Snapchat or TikTok or Instagram. And, but I will say, that the investigator that I talked to with him was a lot more willing to work with me than the one in Georgia, when I reported Chris, because like he was literally violating probation. Like he's literally not even supposed to be on the internet, let alone on TikTok, where I report him at least once a week now because he's duetting teens still. And nobody's doing anything about it. I've reported him. And it's like, they're not doing anything. And he's like, literally, he's in public doing this shit. But nobody is doing anything. So anyway, this is all stuff that Eric wasn't involved in because he's not really that involved in the community aspect. And I never really expected him to be because, first of all, full-time job. Second of all, he's got a wife at home. The third, and this is the thing that I've always had a problem with. I get he's in a motel, and as a matter of fact, I know where he is because I actually helped him get where he is. He had, when he first joined the Discord, he was homeless, and I gave him the option, not option, but I gave him a lot of information because he was, how do I put this? He came in, he was like, I'm a homeless veteran, I don't have a lot of money, I need information on places to go in this specific area. I'm like, listen, because I've been in a place where I've needed to live in a motel with my kids. So there's no shame in living in a motel. It's just, you got to be on your guard. However, how do I put this? You gotta be on your guard. However, that's one of the places where I gave him that was in the area he was looking for. So I know exactly where he is. And I had most people's addresses just because, but I had his address just because I knew, I helped him get there. And he was dumb enough to tell me. With the second guy, I was getting ready to send stuff out, and I just asked everybody, no, we're not going to take a bath. What's on your hand? Here. Well, BB cream. Yes, it is yucky. It's for mommy's face. It helps me be pretty and fancy when I do fancy things. Where was I? So, like, to hear, basically what I'm getting at is to hear that I wasn't pulling my weight, first of all, is shitty. Because I did everything that I could. And I asked for help like several times. So it's not like I was trying to do it all myself. But the thing is, like, it's not. Like, in the end, I don't really think that he cared enough about us as people. It was whether or not we were getting the results he wanted. And I'll be straight up. He didn't. He's personally helped me out a couple times. Like when my math book died, I didn't ask him to, and I didn't need him to, but he did repay me for what I got for my new one. I just bought a refurbished laptop. I mean, this is not fancy. It's like an 8-year-old Elite book. I got it because it's the same model as the one that I have where the motherboard is dead, so if I need parts, I got them on hand, but like, it was only $150, so it's not like I went out and spent like a bunch of money. So, like, I think Eric has lofty dreams. I think that he's going about it the wrong way. Like, if you want people to work for you, you gotta stop expecting them to work for free. And you have to do something to make that money. You can't just expect everybody else to make it for you. You're a salesman. Find donors. If that's your goal, if your goal is to pay people and to pay them well, and I don't think that even, and I'm going to be quite blunt when I say that I'm pretty sure that his view of paying people well isn't the same as mine. So my pay scale was actually pretty generous on what I had planned on paying staff, and I don't think his will be, just because I know him. I mean, people like the mod staff got together and helped bail me out when, you know, like, my ex hasn't paid child support. Excuse me. My ex paid $135 in child support in November, and that was the last I saw of child support. Before that, the last time he's paid child support was in August. And that was where most of our income was. Yes, I do get SSI for my 9-year-old, but that's $771 a month. My goal wasn't to get rich off of this. My goal was to, just like anybody else that works in a nonprofit, survive, help people, and that's it. You know, nobody was out to make big money. I remember the two times that we got paid from Eric. Let me put this. I was able to buy a pizza. So, um, I'm not. I don't think that he's intentionally setting out. Like, I don't think he's sitting back there going, hee 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 hee, how can I use people? I think, honestly, that he doesn't realize how unethical what he's doing is. I don't think he realizes that he's using people. And when he is seeking out people who are low income, people who otherwise need assistance, when those are the people that he's seeking out and getting work for them, I I have a suspicion, quite honestly. I don't know why all you guys are mad. Like, he knows that I'm not financially in a good place because I haven't been able to pay attention to any of my freelance work in a couple months because I've been focused on the nonprofit. And this is his way of absolving himself from either responsibility or guilt. And I don't think he did it, and I honestly don't think he did it consciously that way. But, like, that's kind of the thing. Even if you don't do it on purpose, intent isn't magic. Even if you didn't intend harm, if it happens, it happens. And he's hurt a bunch of people. Now, I will say that there's been some shady shit that's been going on elsewhere in the community. Like, I mean, I'll be blunt and I'll point this out. Like, I harbor no ill will to Gary. I hope he thrives. I hope that he, you know, I wish him enough. You know, just like I wish everyone else. Some things were said that were pretty hurtful. Like, when his dog was sick and we donated, like, I donated my own money first because I saw it first. And then I shared the link. Nobody was trying to buy you, dude. Like, I don't know if you can hear this. Nobody was trying to buy you. Your dog was sick. I mean, I would hope that if something similar to happen to one of my kids, you would share the link too. But to hear that, like, really hurt. And then, you know, we took money out of our budget as business to help you out with Harley just because it was the right thing to do. When you see somebody struggling and heartbroken, I wasn't gonna cry. You know. And that was even after you had recorded, like, you wanted to talk, but, like, you recorded me, and that felt Like, you didn't want to talk to me as a person. You wanted to talk to me as, like, like, I don't know. I wanted to talk to you as a person because something really raw and really real had just happened. I had been awake for 22 hours. I was still trying to take care of my kids. You were trying to get information out of Eric that he didn't fucking have. And I was trying to offer it to you. Literally on a silver platter. But I never got to explain that to you because literally nobody fucking listens to me because I'm a girl with 68 fucking followers on YouTube who YouTube decided to fucking email me to announce when I lost a follower. So, like, a lot of things have happened. Lots of lost friends. Lots of lost chances at friendships. The thing is, I chose my path. I can't bring myself to say that I regret the choice. And it's not because there are so many people that have helped me realize what I wanted in my life. There are people that helped me see different things in my life differently. And I don't know that I don't know that things would change. And as far as, like, I know Gary's been hurt by Eric, and I'm going to go ahead and say again, I don't think it was malicious. I truly don't think that Eric sees a problem in some of the stuff that he does. And that's the problem. Eric doesn't see the problem in doing whatever the fuck he wants. And he doesn't realize that that's not how the world works. So, when you do whatever you want to, and you don't actually, like, you mimic actually caring for people instead of, like, caring for people straight up. And that's the other thing. It's complicated. I don't even think that he doesn't actually care. I think he cares. He just doesn't. He doesn't know how to care for people. And I don't know how to teach that. And he's a grown up. He's, I know I jokingly call him an old man. But, like, he's a grown-ass man. He should be able to figure out when his actions hurt people and not, like, be like, oh, I didn't mean it that way. Like, own it, dude. Own it. I do. I spent 10 years away from my oldest son due to my own decisions. And no, it wasn't, like, nefarious. It was, unfortunate. But it was my actions and my decisions, and I had to own it. I've made dumb decisions in my life. I own them. Because you can't you can't grow if you're not going to admit that you fucked up and try to fix it. And if you're not going to try to own your fuck ups, you have no business owning victories that other people have helped you achieve. So, part of this was like I wanted to clear the air because there's so many misconceptions about not just what we did as a nonprofit, but what nonprofits do in general. So like next time you go to like a nonprofit and the people there are helping you, don't be a dick. They're getting paid. They're likely getting paid below a living wage, frankly. And I mean living wage, and that's like way below poverty, quite frankly. Um, um, so, like, just be kind to people, and like, if you have questions about something, like the biggest problem that I see created on YouTube between communities and people in general is that like there's a question, but rather than fucking ask it, you assume an answer. And like I've seen like I've had my account since the the beginning of YouTube. Um You know, I've seen some shit, all right? I've got decades of videos that I've hidden because like this was meant to be like to share videos of my kids, and I've privated all of those because like you don't need to see pictures of my kids bear crawling down the sidewalk. Like that was meant for family. Um, you know, and now I just have them forever so I can look at them forever. But like the biggest thing that I've seen on YouTube that causes the biggest rifts is like people having a fucking question and not asking it. So like if you have a question about anything that I've said or done, like ask me. You might not like the answer. I mean, I I can't speak to any of that. But like it'd be an answer. It'd probably be more honest than like what you could come up with. Um, but like that's the problem with people in general is assuming that you know what's going on in anything. Um, like I don't know. The world is kind of crazy, and I don't want to compete in fishing. I'm going to end the video. And you know, honestly, like Lola, I think it's a dumb thing that I think it's dumb that he gives out his number. Um, and I think that he thinks that what he's doing is a good thing. And here's why I think it's shit. And I really hope this gets back to him because like, sorry, I put foot masks on earlier and, so now he does give out his phone number. I think it's dumb because even if oh so gross. even if he does effectively reach a couple people, I know how he handles it. And it's not at all how I handle it, which is part of why I didn't help with the text messages a lot once. His pattern of talking to people, I mean, him giving his number out is a precursor to getting them into the Discord to get more help. It really is. Oh, these things stink. It started as just a way for people to reach out. Then it turned into a way to vet people to get in. No, I'm not love nips. No, it started out as a way to have people reach out. Know that, like, I think in his head, he's like, hey, there's this really great thing. I can have, I can have, make time for people. And it was a way to get people into the Discord, because we're all making time for people. And then once it hit a certain amount of texts that he was getting in, like, we knew he needed help with it, but it, like, triggered an obsession in him. Like, hey, I am this important in all of these people's lives. But there's a certain point where there's only so many messages, even if he were to spend, like, the minimum amount of time, which I know he didn't. He actually spent a pretty good amount of time with people, like, talking back and forth to people. It's not at all tenable. And I know that his actual real life job suffered for it. And it's frustrating for him. I know that. And he's not going to come right out and say it to people but, like, making that choice was, for him, in my opinion, is that's a bad decision that he's going to have to own and, like, stop doing, because it's not actually helping people. Like, I heard more complaints, like, outside of the Discord. I get like, if I showed you, like, I'm not going to show you my TikTok, like, inbox. If I showed you my TikTok inbox, I get, why is nobody answering me? I sent a text message. I saw that you were involved. Why is nobody answering me? And it's like, the simple fact is, if thousands and thousands and thousands of people are messaging you, you're going to ignore some of them. It's not possible to answer all those people. And I mean, I can't speak to that. I know that they have a dynamic. I'm not going to speak to their dynamic. It's not like anything, like, it's not like, they're part of the lifestyle. It's not something like that. It's like, they've got their issues. I'm not going to talk about their marriage. Just like, I mean, that's just out of respect for her, mostly. Because I'm going to be honest, if he's working with a bunch of women all day, that volunteer their time, I'm going to look at them as the other woman. And she's probably not that enamored with me either. So, although I did really get excited editing the videos with her in them, because she's rad. I'm sorry, she really is. And I really loved watching her put him in his place. But that's another story. Like I had a blooper reel that I was set to do because I wanted them to do another set of interviews, and I was going to do who wants to watch a 2-minute video, right? Um, so um, I will say, like once we started helping out with the text messages, um, it was hard. And I like that's not it's not something that I'm equipped to do. I'm gonna put that right out there. Because I was answering emails and I was answering text messages, and between images of people cutting, like people will send pictures of. I mean, there's troll pictures. Well, they'll send pictures of like shit-filled toilets, which is primo trolling. Way to go. But there's pictures that people will send of their self-harm. Then you'll get the sects from all genders, and but the hardest is the emails or the messages from loved ones where they're thanking us for messaging their son, daughter, brother, sister who still ended up committing suicide. And that I couldn't, after I got 3 of those. I shared one of them, but they're still in the info inbox if you want to go look at them. But I have their pictures on my hard drive. I know some people that work with RAIN, like lawyers for RAIN. If you need any references, I can see what I can do. This job, what we did, I don't know how it's not taking a toll on anyone else. I mean, yeah, we got a lot of kids that lied. We got a lot of people that lied. Actually, most crisis lines won't do. Like, okay, I'm going to give you a little tidbit about specifically the crisis text line. On more than one occasion, we have sent people to the crisis text line who were in the middle of a self-harm spiral or willing to overdose. And the people we've tried actually sending this stuff to news agencies. We have screenshots of them telling teenagers who told them their age, telling teens to cut themselves, telling teens to go ahead and take the pills. And there's no way to report this to the crisis text line. And it opened my eyes to, we need, I don't know if it's regulation that we need or better people working at these places, but we need something. I've seen and I've talked to different agencies working doing this. Um, See, and that's the thing. Like we had mentor support, but the thing is, it wasn't supposed to be like so deep. Like it was supposed to be, yeah, we had no backup support. We had no decompressing. And then we had, at the end of the day, we had no, like, all we got out of it was the joy of the job. Um, am I freezing? Okay, no, I'm not. And it's frustrating because while we have, well, I don't know if there is now because I've already called all my people and told them that I resigned because while I was told to step back, once I heard things out of Eric's mouth that were mimicked out of, that I'd heard previously out of somebody else's mouth, like verbatim, I knew exactly where it was coming from and what was being said about me by whom. And that's the thing. We actually had that. We had somebody on, like unpaid, obviously on staff, to do debriefing for us, who was a registered counselor at somewhere similar. So I'm not going to out who it is because that needs to stay anonymous. And like, I don't know what the answer is, to be honest. I think, like, and I said this on Twitter, there needs to be places with peer support. Like, you need to have a place that's not your therapist's office and not a crisis line, because you need a way to decompress to not have to get to the crisis line. I didn't hear anything about you abusing heroin, which, but like, I was filing reports with the state, the necessary reports, because when you're a mental health nonprofit, there are things that you have to do. But like all the people that I worked with, they all know that I'm gone. So, I mean, you know, and it sucks. But, like, the good thing is, I don't know if it's kismet or what, but like, just in the last 2 days on like Instagram and Facebook, I've been getting all kinds of ads for like apps that already exist. They're not through nonprofit organizations. There's a pay model, but there's also a free model. But they're peer support. They're heavily monitored. They're monitored by medical staff. And you have to give your phone number in order to participate. It's not perfect because, like, you can have a cell phone number that's a Colorado number and live in Detroit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not perfect. But I think it's what it was what we were striving for, but not quite getting. I don't want to see the community die. There's good people there. And I don't think Eric is an evil person. I think he's misguided. I think he's disorganized. And I think he doesn't know what he's doing. And I think I tried to help as much as I can. And I don't think he accepted that things take time. I can probably get with you on some because a lot of resources for survivors and victims of abuse, the best ones are local. You know what I mean? At least that I'm finding. If you can find something local to you, they're more likely to give you better help than a national organization. And that's not shading places like RAIN or all those things. They do good work. I used to work with a local organization. I'm not going to give their name right now. We used to basically run a rescue. That sounds like the people are puppies. We would take women and children like in the dead of night to safe houses that were facilitated by random people. Because it's harder to get someone out of a home than out of a motel. And that's just things that we were finding as an organization. But I did that for a good 6 years. Finding, and that's the thing, like, I can find funding for that. Like, I know people who right now, if I knew somebody that was trying to escape an abusive relationship, could have $25,000 on the spot to pay for drivers and pay for room in a home. Because it's usually they're staying in someone's home and rehabilitating their life with themselves and their child. And you can't do that on a big scale. Every state has rules and regulations. Every county has rules and regulations. Found that out. There's one county in Michigan where facilitating a woman leaving their abusive home is considered human trafficking. I'm not lying. And it's not a podunk. It is, but it's got a college. Like, it's a large, it's a rural community, but it's a big community. But if you even pay $5 towards a woman leaving her husband, you can be charged with human trafficking. Like, it blows my mind. So, good old Hillsdale. I'm not going to keep that one a secret. It just blows my mind. The dumb laws that are in place that keep women and children in abusive situations. That all, like, common sense could tell you are shit. But because we live in a planet where shitty people write shitty laws, so I'm glad you got out of that situation, Lola. I know, um, I'm gonna sound like a stalker. I do watch your lives. I watch, here's the thing. I watch, like, if I'm subscribed to you, I'm subscribed to you unless you're a complete dillhole. Like, it takes a lot to get me to unsubscribe. And I'll watch your videos sometimes because I'm afraid that you're going to say something about me. So I want to be able to defend myself. But also, like, I mean, I know you, like, I now know you wouldn't, but, like, listen, when I'm in, like, shitty situations, I've said some shitty things about people. So it's not a far-fetched thing for me to think. But at the same time, like, I genuinely want people to thrive. Otherwise, I wouldn't be actually, like, subscribed to you. If I think you do good work, you do good work. And that's really, like, it. Like, I've watched some of your live streams and stuff like that, so I know that, like, I know that you've had some situation going on, and I'm really glad that you got out of it. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to show you a little clip before I go, because I am officially kind of just done. So let's see. Oh, no, don't play yet, don't play yet, don't play yet. Stop. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I am still learning all of this. Hang on, let me close out of my game. I wanted to give you a preview. Hang on, this is dumb. I wanted to give you a preview of what I'm working on. More details, please. Thank you, Task Manager. So, my goal for this channel isn't really, like, I don't want to create, like, okay. Oh, I could loop it. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna, I'm gonna do reviews of things that I like to do. I had this idea the other day when I was on Twitter and went off on kind of like a little Twitter rant. I don't know if this is going to play the sound that goes with it. I'm really proud of how the editing works with this. It's all stock video. That's the word I was looking for. So this is the intro. I'm hoping I'll have it out tomorrow. I've got most of it. I've got all the video clips edited. I just have to do the voiceover. So this, I'm gonna scoot it down. I don't know if you can hear it at all, because I don't have any volume on here. But I'm really proud with my editing work, quite frankly. This is all, but I'm hoping that when it comes out, like, this is my voiceover. but like cutting and editing the films, the scripts, the music, I'm really proud. Like it took me a lot of work, and a lot of testing. So basically working with B-roll footage, but it's all kind of practice. Like I don't like I have a shitty like I have a track phone. That's the closest thing to a camera that I have. So I'm not gonna have a really good camera anytime soon, but I can edit the shit out of it. So that's gonna be the intro to the video. I'm doing sort of an unpacking and review of Midsommar. I really liked it. I know that it's been out for a while, and that's actually music that I got right here on YouTube. They have a library in the uploader. I'm gonna give the musician credit, but it's no credit needed. But I'm gonna give the musician credit, and all the B-roll I got from Canva, they've expanded a lot in the last month. So I've just been figuring things out and working with things and learning new tricks. Not just with Canva, but also with the software that I have. I've got 3 or 4 different editing programs that I use for video editing. But that's what I want to do. I want to start, not just reviewing stuff. I'm going to be reviewing it in my style. I am a broke single mom of 3 kids, 4 kids, but 3 kids at home. I can't go to the movies. You're going to get my review when they come out on Netflix or Amazon. So, but I'm not against reviewing stuff that I watched as a kid. I mean, fuck, if Eddie Burback can do it, so can I. But yeah, I went on a Twitter rant and I was just like, wait, this could be a YouTube video. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow, maybe the next day. It depends on whether or not my kids sleep tonight. So that being said, I don't know how, I've an hour and 45 minutes. I've been on for an hour and 45 minutes. It's a half day at my kids' school. I have to get ready for that. What are we watching? Oh, we're watching Peppa Pig. So, thank you all for coming. I wanted to share what I was thinking. I didn't keep my silence because I thought that, I wanted to protect Eric. I think I did good work. I know that it wasn't as effective as I wanted it to be, just because the supports weren't there. But it could have been something good. And because, because of his need to be a boss, actually, it's not even a need, it's a want. So, if you are a Patreon subscriber of Driven Together, I'm sorry that you didn't get your shit this month. It's on its way to Eric. I don't know if it got there. He decided to cut me off, literally changed the passwords, and this was how shitty it was. I wake up, and this was the morning after finding out about some Discord exploit with having to do with the QR code, and I was trying to test some shit out with Jiffy, right? So I wake up the next morning, and all the Discords are gone. Every single one of them. And then all of my passwords are, all of the passwords are changed. because like when I open up my browser, it's got all of my emails, and I don't. If you know me and you've seen my screenshots of my work spread, it's no wonder that my computer is so slow. I've got 9,000 tabs open in Chrome. But yeah, none of my passwords worked and everything, and I was just like, were we hacked? Like, that was literally the first thing I did. I was just like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm messaging everyone. Nobody's responding. I didn't get a message. Nothing. Apparently in the night, I don't know what the deal was. Eric kicked all of us. So it wasn't just me. It wasn't just targeted at me. It was the entire admin team was gone. And they had to get back in. And it's just like, okay, what the fuck? So, I rejoin. And, like, I didn't say anything in the server. I didn't do anything. It was just like, okay, I just want to make sure I can still message you fuckers. And then I was banned with a message to contact Eric. So I'm like, oh, okay, already did. What the fuck? Like, I'm not going to go into too deep detail because there's some shady shit, but I want to say this. If you think that I didn't run a background check on every single person that joined the staff after Chris, there's a reason I asked for everybody's resume. Anybody that submitted a resume got a background check. If you submitted a resume and didn't get an ask back from me, it's because I found some shady shit on your background check. I spent my money doing background checks. So when I did a background check on this specific individual, it was not a free background check. It was a legit background check with the state. It's a legit thing. So when I tell you that this person had no record, it's not a lie. You can run your own goddamn background check. But everybody's being lied to. And because this person isn't prominent enough in the public sphere and isn't like a YouTuber, I'm not going to say who they are, but if they've watched this, or Jiffy, you can run back and tell her, I really don't give a shit, because she knows I know. I know how to get background checks for free, but there are some places you can't, just because, like, you can get background checks for free, but like not international ones. It's harder, and I really don't have the fucking time. So it's easier for me to just pay anywhere. It's usually anywhere between $5 and $50. And there haven't really been that many. There really haven't been that many people, to be honest. But I spend a significant amount of money. So, but like, yeah. If, if you've submitted a resume in the last, basically since October, I've done a background check on you. Now, that's not to say that everybody that joined is like a saint. There's some of the people have shit on their background that, like, I don't give a fuck if you've been speeding or whatever. Some people have, they're in their 30s and they have like a dumb, like, public nuisance thing when they were 18. And I'm like, listen, I've done some shit. I've got arrests on my record. I don't care. But like, if you assaulted somebody, especially a partner, we don't want you. If you defrauded people, we don't want you. That was the way I work. You know, like I don't care if you have like you were arrested for failure to appear at for a traffic ticket, because I've been arrested for that before. That's the dumbest arrest ever. But like if your arrests were for something that were more predatory, and if you tried to like just brush it away like it was nothing, yeah, we don't want you handling a vulnerable population. So I did my best to keep it safe. I don't know what the fuck they're doing now. I really don't care. I'm not a member. I'm not a part. Um, like, and it breaks my heart because like I'm not responding because it's just not ethical. It's not right. I've got a lot of the kids in my DMs, the kids from the teen server in my DMs. Like, where are you? What, can I talk to you anymore? No. You know, there's no double triple check. There's no accountability. There's no, for all you and your parents know, I'm some random person on the internet that could be luring you out of your house. It's not ethical. Like there's a reason we kept telling people to keep it in the server, and it was so we could all keep an eye out on each other. And you can't do that in my DMs. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave this up and end the stream. I've got shit to do. My feet are peeling now because I left my foot mask on for too long. So, um, not all of them are in the U.S., Lola. Most of them actually aren't. I've just said, you know, because the infrastructure that we put up, that's the other thing, like, I don't know. I want to say that the infrastructure that I built and had a part in building is still safe. But I don't know what they're changing. I don't know what they've changed. I don't, you know. But I do know that, like, as an adult with kids, like, my 19-year-old son was a member of the server. I don't know if he's left or not. I actually haven't talked to him about that. He's probably gonna, like, if he watches this, because he's on YouTube too. He's a 19-year-old game streamer. He's probably problematic as fuck. I've watched like a couple of his videos and I'm just like, but like I've watched some that are really good. But he's a 19-year-old boy. I'm not using an excuse. I'm just saying he's a 19-year-old boy. He's gonna say and do some dumb shit. I remember being a 19-year-old girl. I said and did some dumb shit, and I was already his mom at the time. So he's done me one better. He's managed to get to the same age I was when I had him without becoming a father. So, but if anime and turn-based fighter games are your jam, he's plus 4 corners. He's a cute bald kid. I'm biased. I think all my kids are cute. I just wish he didn't look exactly like his dad. But anyway, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'll be around. I'm around. Like I said, I've got a project in the works. doing, hopefully in the next 2 days, I'll have my review of Midsommar up. And I'm still doing transcription if you need transcription. I'm still doing accounting if you need accounting. Don't come to me to file your taxes because I use H&R Block. Like, I have artwork that if, you know, I have artwork on sale. I think it's at DeviantArt. If you look for Jen, is that even my name there? Yeah, Gen X Digital, JENX Digital. On DeviantArt, that's me. I take commissions for 3D artwork. I do not take commissions for pointillism because that shit takes forever and nobody can afford it. So, yeah, if you want, we can talk later. TrackFilm's telling you that I have 10 service days. It does this every month. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get lunch ready for the kiddos and I will see you later. Bye.